All
What
right.
up, doe?
What's
Welcome
good?
to another edition of the Man Cave, where we give our opinion on just about everything. Tonight is a special night because not only do we have two wonderful ladies as our guests tonight, but this topic was brought to our attention by Brother Art. So y'all know it's about to go left. So anyway, all hail the queen. What up, doe? What up, doe? Uh, Keela says, "Hey, ladies." She
Oh,
wanted
forget us, huh? Forget us. Forget us.
to,
Forget us.
she wanted to be on the show, but she got homework. All right. So look, tonight, let me introduce our ladies tonight. Miss Nicole is the host of the Comfy Couch, one of my favorite podcasts, and she gets down and dirty with the relationship advice. And we have a lot of fun, especially I have a lot of fun in her comments. Welcome to the show, Miss Nicole. And can you tell us when the podcast airs?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me, Aaron. Yes, it's My Comfy Couch. We try to post on Wednesdays on My Comfy Couch. So you can find us on YouTube if you put the @ My Comfy Couch. And we're on IG if you want to follow us at Comfy Couch Talks.
All right.
Sweet.
Make sure you check her out. She has some real good content. I've been on the show a couple of times, and it's always been fun. Next, we have one of the real sisters. I bet you if she was back in the civil rights movement, her fists would be up like with the best of them. Miss Adina, the realest of the real. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys?
All
We
right.
We're
are
doing
excellent.
good.
The
Now let
way
me.
the way you said that make me feel like we need to be like, niggas from Lime and all that type of shit with you.
No. We ain't got to do that. But I do have a tendency to keep it
Oh
real
yeah.
and emotional.
Tendencies. All right. All right.
So let me introduce the cast of characters. The loony bin up in here. Number one is the judge, the guy that's always fair in his criticism, always usually correct, and will let you know when you wrong. Brother Kelly is in the hizzy. Next,
Hello. Hey, hey.
next is the defense attorney, the brother who always got our back, always letting us know, don't worry about nothing, man. We cool, we cool, we cool. I'm gonna disappear from y'all like Michael did the Jacksons, but I'll be back. Brother
You got,
Damon is in the house.
you got a few more times to keep saying it. I'm gonna give you a few more.
I say that because Damon has his own podcast. Tell us a little bit about the podcast, Damon.
All right. It's called Chopping It Up with D. Randall, a virtual barbershop experience. I put a new episode out every Tuesday. Talk about any and everything. It's family oriented. We just like to have fun and sit and do what we do in the barbershop, and that's chop it up. That's how we do
Yep.
it.
Yes, sir. And he started off here when he was the Jacksons, and then he started off on his own when he became.
We don't appreciate what you did, Damon. We don't appreciate what you did.
You got. How many is that? That's you got about 5, 6 more.
Okay, cool.
We don't appreciate it.
Since you family, I'm gonna give you a little more grace and leeway.
All
We don't
right.
appreciate that shit. We don't
And,
appreciate it.
All right, you just keep
and then
kissing your chicken.
last and least, no, I'm just kidding. Last but not least is the brother with the gun, the brother with the fishing hat with the hole on the top. This is his idea. Brother Art is in the house. So I'm surprised he ain't hold up the gun.
So,
But anyway, look,
it's outside. I said it's in the backyard. It's in the back.
like that's actual Nicole and Adina. He will actually.
I forgot. I got the other one. Here we go.
Like constantly.
He touched,
Okay.
man. It's a touched
The
individual. I
peacekeeper.
shared a prayer for him. We gotta see if Jesus in a good mood.
Right. All right, let's get down to business here. Cause Art came up with this idea 3 months ago. We kept putting it off. Life happened. We had a couple of times we didn't come on the air. But Art insists on asking the question, who's more hypocritical, men or women? So in the middle of him eating, he's gonna tell us what does he mean by who is more hypocritical. So, Art, tell us who's more. What did you mean by who's more hypocritical? And
Well,
my first question is, how do you quantify that?
well, can't really say that I meant anything by it, right? But it is a good question.
We just put a whole show together, and he said he didn't. Okay, go ahead.
It's just a good question to ask. Sometimes it's good just to go down and do that and just see who is more full of shit these days, right? Because you hear all this stuff in the news and you hear this stuff and this person be saying this about this person and this person say this about that person and everybody got all their little rhymes and reasons of why they saying what they saying and they right and other people wrong. And so my thing is like, well, look, let's just figure out who full of shit and who ain't.
Okay, so your argument is that women are.
My argument is let's see who really full of shit.
Okay, so how do you propose we do that? Because I'm thinking you coming from a perspective that women are more full of crap.
Well, I won't say that, but this is what I'll say. When I was looking at the issue and I was doing a little research, okay, and what was surprising, you know, Google is powerful. You know, it's pretty powerful if you use it right.
Well,
I type in,
go ahead.
I type in, you know, hypocritical men. All I get is hypocritical women shit.
Okay.
I literally spent hours just looking for anybody talking about hypocritical men. So I'm like, well, we got to figure this shit out. Who is more hooked up? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's a little surprising that you didn't take a position because you sent me this.
There's a podcast I did called Fresh and Fit. I was arguing about gender roles with 7 girls. They were telling me that they can do anything a man can do, all this garbage. And some crazy fan knocked on the door.
You saying my name?
And he had a gun.
It's not a fight. I'm saying what the fuck does he want?
Oh my god, there's a fight. Oh shit, guys.
You should have seen the women, how quickly they became feminists when I had to go to that door. Oh, the feminism's out the window. Where's the feminists? Go to war.
Okay, so that was a really fast video. So he was talking about a group of women who said, hey, feminism's out the door. We don't need that. But when somebody came in with a gun, it was like, oh, protect us. So Art, you sent me that. So I thought that was your position. Are you?
My position is, I'll say this formally. My position is that I see more times than not where women will say one thing and mean something else. Okay. Or
give me an example, sir.
Kind of like with the feminism thing. You know, it's like I can do it myself and kiss my butt. I don't need y'all. You know what I'm saying? But then the car break down or something. You know, it's like, what's really going on? Somebody breaking the house, what you gonna do? You calling the police. They're usually men. You see? So it's like, damn, how can you say like you don't need no man, but everything in front of you and all the infrastructure around you was built by men and maintained by men to make your life nice. See? So that's really kind of like my position. It's like, damn, it's like, what's really going on? Do women not really see the hypocrisy sometime? And or where is it coming from that they say these things? And you know what I'm saying, why they say these things? And then again, I'm trying to figure out like where the men at as far as hypocrisy. And it's just difficult to find those conversations. So this is why I'm like, well, let's figure it out. Let's just see what's going on.
Okay, so all that being said, Adina, Nicole, what's your take so far? Do women, do you think women are more hypocritical? Do women cling to feminism and then when they need protecting, they grab onto feminism? Is it a thing where you guys recognize that it's a wishy-washy thing, or are we all wrong?
Ooh. Adina, you want to go or you want me to go?
My brain is like,
I think
go ahead, Nicole.
No, I mean, I think sometimes it's misunderstanding, like with the whole video clip you just played. I think women can do things themselves and are sometimes forced to. So I think maybe a lot of women feel like, okay, I can do everything, but at the end of the day, we do want you guys, but it's not like it's an absolute necessary thing in order for us to get through life. You know, before traditionally it was like you needed a man to provide in order to live and be a part of the society and that kind of thing. But now, you know, we can make our own money, we can do all these things. So it's not like a man is needed in the same capacity that he was needed before. But it's not like we don't want you guys at all. I mean, you're definitely, you know, an attribute if you're the right kind of guy. So
I heard what you said. I heard what you said at the end of the day.
Yes.
At the end, not at the beginning of the day, but at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like you last. It's okay. You stay back there. You just I don't need you yet.
You said, like, if we feel that way about guys?
Yeah, the way you said it was like, you know, yeah, it's cool, but you know, you can just stay on back there and we can do our own thing.
No, I'm just saying that I'm just saying that it's just like, and it's not like how it was before. And it's not like we're saying that we don't need guys. It's just at a different capacity. I think women are looking for things that are more so maybe like, you know, emotional, maybe a partnership, maybe that kind of thing, as opposed to before, you know, how it was different. So I don't want men, and I think there's a lot of content out there where men are really upset about this whole feminism thing. And I think there's both positive and negative towards it. You know, it's great now that women can actually, you know, survive and make money and don't have to stay in relationships that might be abusive, might not, you know, be good for them. But then on the other hand, men complain a lot that women can't turn off that energy. And when they come to relationships, they want to be controlling. They want to be at the forefront. They don't want to show respect or be, what's the word y'all like, submissive.
Submissive. It's so difficult, isn't it? Lord have mercy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is that what's the balance? It's like, you know, we don't want to take over and stuff, but I think a lot of women feel like, now, hey, like, I'm more of a head of the household holding it down than the dude is. And it's like, they don't mind stepping back if they find men that they can trust to lead. But it seems challenging because a lot of women seem like they're the ones who have more of the leadership qualities these days than some of the guys they're meeting.
Okay, can I ask a question?
What
you said?
I gotta ask a quick question.
Can I ask a question about that?
Okay, go ahead.
I heard everything you said.
Yes.
What makes me want to question what you just said is you're looking for the man to take leadership role. So what happens when that man takes leadership role and you still push him down like he means nothing? So my question, what I'm trying to say is I see a lot of women say they don't mind falling back until you meet the alpha male that's just like you, except you're a female. And when he tries to step up and be the head of the household, you give him flack. So what happens when you chase the man that you want away because you can't fall back and look at the way things were made to be? And I don't mean in a disrespectful way, because you yourself said you're looking for that man. So when he steps up and you still got your I'm a woman, I'm independent robe on, how are we supposed to distinguish that you actually need us as opposed to, oh, I'm just dealing with you, and then when you open your mouth, I can put you out, I can do this, I can do that. How do you want a man to look at you from that point?
I agree. And I think a lot of the issues, I think sometimes women aren't aware that they're doing it. Like, I know there are a lot of single moms, first of all. So there are a lot of folks that have to be the, you know, head of the household. And I noticed that among some of my friends that they'll be dating a guy and he wants to maybe come into their lives and for example, hey, the lawn needs to be done. The guy wants to be the one to go buy the parts to go do the lawn for them. And they just like, oh, you know, let me go do it. And you know what I mean? Like won't let the guy take the initiative to be a blessing to them or to be, you know, there for them. So I think some of them is oblivious to it. They're so used to having to take care of everything that they don't notice that they're overstepping a lot of times. So I think women need to really observe that and see in these little interactions how they are coming across to men.
So when I'm gonna piggyback to Damon's question, we did a show before about being a stepdad, and we showed a video of a grown boy. What was he like? 25?
Like 25, 26.
And he was saying, I ain't going nowhere. My mama live here. I ain't going nowhere. And the stepdad was like, look, man, you don't do nothing around here. You're between jobs. You too old to live with us. And his mother was like, he ain't got to go nowhere. He ain't got. So here's a man, a classic example. Here's a man who's stepping into his role as the leader and trying to push this dude out of the nest. And you got this mom keeping him there and actually putting him in like a mental prison, like I'm supposed to be here when he's not. So that kind of scenario comes up to play in a lot of relationships. And the men are like, look, you want a man. When I tell you your son is a man, he need to get out. That that's ignored. How do we address that?
Adina, did you
Let me
want
get the
to
cricket.
Adina? Go ahead.
Wait a minute. This is appropriate sound effect.
Crickets.
Right.
Crickets.
Now, I've never been in that situation, right? Because of course I'm only 20, but I think that, I think a lot of that has to do with, and I've said this before when I was on Nicole's podcast, y'all know a lot of my stuff is about people addressing their own things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's about that woman checking herself. You know what I mean? If your child doesn't have any sort of disability or any kind of, something that they really need help to get through life with, they should be out on their own by 26. Personal thoughts. So, I feel like that woman would have to check herself and figure out, okay, why exactly am I trying to hold my son here? Mm-hmm. And there's also that conversation of a level of, and might sound really bad, this might be the wrong word, but a level of perversion that tends to happen between women and their sons, especially when those women have grown up. I mean, those women have had those sons with no man present. And even when men do try to come in, right, which is a part of the initial conversation here, when men do try to come in and be that figure that, father figure or parental figure to their child, or even be the man in her life, it's almost like she chooses her son to stand in that space and put that weight on her son. Yes. And so she begins to like treat him like that's her man.
Yes.
Right? The perversion, right? So
are you actually 20 years old?
No, I'm not. No.
Because I can smell a lie. Now you said 20, but I don't hear no damn 20.
I'm not. I am a whole 40-year-old woman. So
2 20s. What is it? 2 times.
20s in there. It's 2 of them.
Hey, Adina brought up a great point, man. That perversion and not letting as they say, your young bird test his own wings.
Damon, and not to cut you off, but also talking about the difference between how they treat their daughters and their sons.
Yeah.
Okay, because they will kick their daughters out of the house into the street.
You want to know why? Because the older the girl gets, the more she's like her mother.
Right.
And you can't have two women who are too much alike stay together. It's impossible.
Yes. And they're competing for the same men.
At that point, it might be. Because the mama might be a little cougar around. She might be in the street.
What else can she be but a cougar?
I got a question for y'all ladies, man. I don't know if y'all saw this. I actually seen it. There was a woman, she was in Africa, got hit in the face with a brick. Did y'all see that?
Oh, she was in Texas. That was in Houston.
That was Texas? They said it was Africa. She got hit in the face with a brick. And she was saying that all the black men watched her get hit and all this. So she got a little people on her side until they show video of her going around slapping men, telling them that she don't need no man and this and that. So they interviewed a guy. And he said something that really hit home. He said, I'm not going to protect, first of all, any woman that's disrespecting me, and then when she get disrespected, she want to disrespect us again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not going to protect any woman who out here doing this when I have a wife and kids to go home to, because I don't know how people will react if I'm going to protect this woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that hit home. We get bashed because we're not running to be Mighty Mouse to save the day for somebody. First of all, we don't know what this woman did. And I'm not being mean because I've seen too many of these things that the woman, oh, I don't need no man. This, and that, blah, blah, blah. Then when it come down to it, y'all black men ain't nothing. Y'all don't want to help us and all that. Come to find out, she going around slapping people and doing all this. I'm not running to save nobody's life when I got lives at home that depend on me.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect. I'm not trying to be mean, but there's God, there's my wife, there's my kids. That's the order, the pecking order. It doesn't mean that I want to see a woman get beat up. It doesn't mean I stick my nose in somebody's business and my wife is burying me. Who loses in the end?
You.
Well, that's not being
In my
mean.
family. Me
That's,
and my
that's
family.
being smart and cautious. You can't run
Exactly.
around.
So my thing is,
You know,
no disrespect to the ladies.
So they want us to be stupid. Then that's what it
Right,
sounds like. They want us to be dumb as
I
hell.
mean, no disrespect to the B2
But
movement.
then they say we not educated enough, but they want us to be dumb.
I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. I can't jump into everybody's business when I have my own business to take care of. I don't know this person. This ain't 1975 where you could probably walk away from none of it. These people are killing you for looking at them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be smart. I have to think with my brain and what I was blessed with.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I want to see a woman get beat up, because that's not the case. But I have to say this. A lot of the ladies bring a lot of this on themselves. You bring a lot of it, bring on themselves. And I'm y'all probably gonna bash me, but I done seen too many videos. I done seen too many videos. I done seen too many things out in the street to where a woman has slapped a man, disrespected a man, threatened to kill a man, threatened to take his kids from him. You'll never see your kids. You'll never do this. I'm gonna still get money. But then when it flips on them, I can't believe they won't do this. They crying and all this type of stuff. Think about what you're doing, ladies. You can't find a good man because you don't know how to treat yourself and how to treat a good man.
Right. Ooh, Damon.
Somebody hit the church music. Somebody.
That's usually coming from Art, but it's coming from Damon.
I'm just saying,
telling the truth, though.
Art,
all of that is facts.
I done seen too many videos to where you looking at these ladies saying all this stuff. I don't need him. I don't need this. I don't need that. You don't do nothing for me. I make more money than you. But as soon as something go wrong, who they call? They ain't calling Ghostbusters. I'm just keeping it 100. If we gonna
they call the only one they can call, the one that they work for, the white man.
I'm just keeping it 100, man. Because
they call the one that they work for. They call the one that they truly love, the one they truly respect.
So what
all the things that they get from him for free.
Wait, okay, so Art, what do you mean they call the white man?
Call him on the phone. And the white man show up and then they got them outfits on and guns and shit. Them.
Oh, police?
The police.
They usually white, ain't they?
I mean, okay, so I thought you meant the establishment. You know, things
they
that
all
are
connected. The police are there to protect what? White people's property.
So give me an example of how a woman runs to the establishment.
An example, he was just saying right there. Say they get in an argument. She don't like something he say. She call him on the phone. That's the only way she can fight. She can't really put her hands on him because if he really go there, he gonna bust her ass up, right? So what's the only way she can fight? Either with her mouth or she got to call them on the phone.
Okay.
Put in jail and all them kinds of things.
All that type of shit.
Now, I have been in a scenario. I was married before, and I was, I was holding my son, and my son fell asleep. So I was in a lounge chair just rocking him. I wasn't going anywhere. I was watching TV. He was asleep on my chest, and my ex-wife wanted to take him to her sister's house. I was like, he's asleep. Let him sleep. Take him another day or whatever. No, I want to take him now. Why don't you just go? He's asleep. And then she lunged for him. I'm like, don't wake him up. It took me all day to get him sleep, so leave him alone. And then she picked up something and threw it at me while I'm holding the child. So I block it. And
good thing you blocked it.
Yeah, because it was gonna hit one of us. So she was determined, like really frantic and crazy. So anyway, long story short, I was like, well, he's really not going now. So not by this time, she's screaming and he woke up. So then she reared at me with her fist, and I caught her fist in the air, and I kind of squoze her fist, and she was like, 911.
Oh.
Hey, what was wrong with her?
Crack.
And so the police come, and I remember this scene from this movie called Panther. It is Black Panther told another Black Panther, whenever the cops come, strip down to your tighty whities. And I'm still holding my son, and I put him in a chair, and I stripped down to my drawers, right? I mean, they come to the door, and they put her in the driveway, and they asked me to come outside. So I come upstairs with my son in my drawers, and they were like this.
Damn.
Why do I not get the benefit of the doubt that things went the way it went? So when they were like this and they saw me in my drawers, they put everything away because they cannot shoot an unarmed person. They put everything away. I explained my side. I showed them all the scratchings and whelps on me. They looked at her and said, well, wait a minute. Did he hit you? No. And it was like, ma'am, you're taking us away from real police work. So the hypocritical part is not only did she create a scenario for me to get arrested, and she probably would have let me get arrested.
Absolutely.
But she wastes the police time, and they told her, if we ever have to come back here, somebody's going to jail for 21 hours, and it's going to be you, ma'am. It's going to be you. Oh, now she wants to cry and get sympathy when she could have just let the boy sleep, and she could have went over her sister's house. It would have been a smooth night. So I can identify with that establishment comment that Art made, and that's not saying that you ladies do this, but what's going through a lady's mind when you think, I'm going to call the police and sabotage him, my husband, just to get my son, just to get my way? And I know that sounds crazy because I'm looking at your faces like that is absolutely crazy, but it happens to us all the time. What say you, ladies? wait.
Again.
I don't understand those types of situations. I don't understand what the motivation is and what exactly, like, what outcome you're looking for with that. Like, why would you call the police on this? First of all, you're taking care of your son. Okay. Right. Second of all, you're married to this lady, right?
Yeah, you married her.
Not only are you messing up, your husband's future, right? Because no matter what it is, it's gonna be there, right?
Yeah, right.
So not only are you messing up his chances and whatever he's got going on to help sustain the family, you and this kid, and if you had additional children, whatever, right? Not only are you messing that up, right? But then what about your son? You know what I mean? If you keep pushing it and turning it into something that it absolutely was not, right? Then what if them cops would have came and wouldn't have seen you holding your son, or wouldn't have seen you? You know what I mean? If they wouldn't have taken mercy on you, now look where we at.
Right.
I don't get it. And I've been in situations married where I could have played the Karen card too. You know what I'm saying? And in a real legitimate kind of way, but it would have looked like nothing, upon, initial vision. And I didn't do it. You know what I mean? My ex-husband is 6'5" and 300 plus pounds. And the police here know him. So if I call him, and not because he did anything crazy, but he had some family history with or whatever. So if I'd have called the police, And the police chief knows him and doesn't like him because he got into a word battle with my guy. What would have happened for my daughters? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, so for a woman to do that to a man that not only is she married to, but has children by, she needs to be checked into a mental institution because something's not right with them.
Totally.
Because you can't, something has to be going on. Is you drunk? Is you high? Is you on the crack? Like Art said, what is you doing?
On the crack.
Because you don't have, you're ruining not only your life, your husband's life, and your child's life. Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
This story is like that, man. It's because you know the first thing that came to my mind listening to my cousin say that, she threw something at him with her child on his chest.
That lets you know how she feels about her child.
Let's say Aaron wasn't quick enough to block it, and it hits his son in the head. Let's say something drastic happens. She gonna be hysterical. She gonna lose her mind, all because of something minute. If the boy is asleep, let him sleep. Your sister ain't going nowhere. I believe she still stay at the same crib, and if she don't, so what? Let the child sleep. He's not bothering nobody. He's comfortable with his father. See, my thing is, men can be stupid. Don't get me wrong.
I agree with that.
I look at certain stuff that certain women do, y'all, and it doesn't compute logically. It seems like everything is impulsive. When she get mad, it's impulse. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then when it backfires, that's when you see the tears and you want to apologize and this and that. When it doesn't go their way, they use what God gave them, the femininity, to try to woo somebody to come to the dark side of the force.
That's trash. It's manipulation, and you ought to be put out.
It's definitely manipulation. It's definitely to see the look on these two ladies' face when Aaron said that story. Both of them was like, "That woman need to go. Somebody's loony bin. She's crazy." You know what I'm saying? I can look on their face and see what they thinking. But if you watch some of these shows that's out, me and my wife been watching a lot of these shows that's out, and the women in these shows are gone. They're crazy. And it's and you looking at it like, this ain't a show, this real life. You go outside to this all the time. And ladies, I did this on my podcast. Y'all fought way too hard to be able to climb the mountain to accomplish what you accomplished. You had to go through too much to get where you are and then act like complete fools when you get there.
Wow.
But you know what though? I think that that's I think that what we're seeing now, especially like in younger women, and I know there's some old fools out there too, right? So I won't discredit them because they love their foolery as well. But I think what we're seeing is is the direct result of older women not teaching younger women.
Yes.
And so we have, just like maybe 2 generations, right?
Yes.
Of women who are now women that don't know how to be women. Like they don't have any context, right? Yes. And so the thing that is giving them context as opposed to their grandmom or great grandmom or their mom giving them this context, it's the music, it's what they see on TV, it's what's happening on Instagram, it's this whole idea of relationship goals when no one can relate to themselves. It's like this whole, I want to be with this person and I want to do this relationship thing, but I can't, again, relate to myself. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. I don't have any sort of foundation to come back to. I don't, and so we just see them just, and people in general, right? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
People just like living out of sheer emotion. No one thinks about anything.
Yeah, sheer emotion.
Sheer emotion. Just, I mean, it's just an emotion fest, just everywhere. Yeah, people just spilling out overall on top of everybody.
And you're right. It is a generational thing. It's a generational thing for both sides because I got some fellas, man. Actually, I got a cousin that when his son was younger, he used to smoke in the car with him, drink in the car. When his son was old enough, he started letting his son smoke with him. Nah, when that little boy come around, everybody had their stuff because he's a born thief. They won't allow. No, real talk. I'm not joking. He's a thief. His father is getting older and he having heart problems and all that, so he can't control him. And his mama don't want nothing to do with him. So now you allow the boy to grow up to thinking that it's cool to smoke with my old man and disrespect my mama at anything I want to do. So now he's mentally jacked up.
Yep.
Because you didn't sit down and say, look, man, I'm your daddy. You ain't finna smoke. I don't smoke nothing with you. You better go smoke some homework. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is really putting their foot down. And you brought up a good point. They don't want to acknowledge the elderly people who helped raise them. They want to acknowledge Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. And they want to acknowledge them because they feel like, oh, they know what they doing. They got this. My sons was notorious for saying, oh, they from the streets, this, and that. I say, you keep saying they from the streets, but when they go sit down with these people, they suited and booted. They giving you the image that they these street cats, and a lot of them are not street cats.
Are not.
Yeah.
They wouldn't bust the grape in a fruit fight. You understand?
So they what they're doing is paying for their image and trying to grow in an image that they're not.
Okay, so look, let me say this. I got to get to some of the comments. Keela has been like firing away with comments, and I was showing them, but I couldn't read them. But she was saying "ouch" to the remark that Damon made. She said she couldn't relate to the whole thing about the cops because she never called the cops on anyone. Sierra Thomas said, had the same thing happen to a friend recently. I believe that it's a small percentage of women who feel the need to be in control and try to spite those who try to guide them and take control. So I agree with that, Miss Sierra. I agree.
But the bad part about it is who trying to take
hold on.
control.
Wait a minute. You think it's a small percentage of women who want to be in control?
Challenge.
You say you agree. I'm asking you. You think it's a small percentage?
You think you asking me?
I'm asking you. Do you?
No. I don't think it's a small percentage.
That's what.
Go ahead,
no.
Nicole.
Well, that's the point I was going to make about your story, Aaron. There seems to be like competition in terms of power. A lot of times to me, I see, especially in Black couples, it's not like a partnership. It's like one trying to outdo, the other. It's like they're in competition. And I'm trying to find out, where did that start? And talking about generation wise, I know sometimes women might not know how to be women because they're not seeing that in the home. Like a lot of women are single. So how are they going to know how to be a woman to a man? Yes. I was dating someone and they're like, man, like you iron my clothes, you make this food. And like, why are you like this? And I'm like, it's because I saw my mom doing this for my dad. But if people don't grow up seeing that kind of thing, like how do they know what they're supposed to be? And not only are they not seeing that, but those single women are telling them, hey, you don't need a guy. Go get your education just in case he ain't shit. You could fall back on your education. You don't need a guy for stuff. So they've been telling them these messages and they're not seeing anything different. So it seems like there's some competition, and I don't know how a woman can identify when they are being competitive with their man, and B, what they can do to combat that in these relationships.
Well, I can tell you what happened in that specific scenario with me. That specific scenario, when she was 9 years old, she walked in the room and saw her father beating up her mother. So that just painted all men a particular color from then on. Now, of course, she denied it, but yeah, she nobody's escaping that picture in her mind that I saw that, and that's never going to happen to me. Right. So when I want my son to go with me, and you tell me no, oh yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
So that's her go-to.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah. That's her go-to. And that's what she needed to talk through with some kind of therapist that she probably never did.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
You bring
somebody buzzing.
So let me ask this question then, right? Because we're talking about like hypocritical things. So,
Wait, who's buzzing?
I don't know.
That's Adina. She was trying to fix it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Ask the question.
Okay. So we're talking about the hypocritical type things or whatever. And what I'm starting to hear a little bit here is that maybe the things that and mostly what I was able to see on the internet, all the hypocritical things that now these conversations about how women are and stuff like that, they're probably I'm starting to think that if it's like that, it's because of something that they weren't taught. And that maybe innately they know what type of situation they should be in, but considering they haven't been taught the right things, maybe they lean toward more the feminist side of things. Then the things that they say and the things that they do end up looking to be hypocritical.
Yeah. What's the question?
I'm just making a statement.
You said let me ask this question.
Well,
Okay, so-
I'm sorry. End up being a damn statement. So basically, the question is, I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that might be the case when we talk about hypocritical things? I mean,
Definitely. I mean, you can't do what you haven't been taught. Definitely. But let me put the shoe on the other foot. Adina and Nicole, how do you think men are hypocritical?
They do the same thing in reverse.
Do the same thing in reverse?
Listen, y'all. Listen, I'm telling y'all. I'm about to tap into my little realism. Okay, I married a man like that. Right, had all the conversations prior to marriage. Oh, I want to support the family. I want to be great. Blah blah blah. Lead. Had these kids. You stay home. You know, save money on child care. You be great. Blah 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 blah. And then told me he wanted a divorce because he didn't want to be the guy that was in charge.
What?
Child, I said somebody lead me to the first divorce lawyer I can find.
Wait. Let me see if I understand this. He said he wanted a divorce because he didn't want to be the what?
The guy. That's what he used to say all the time.
He didn't want to be the guy, so he wanted to be the girl?
Listen to
Right.
me.
Which one is it? What is it?
Ain't no other direction to go.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know how you want to be a husband. I don't know how you want to be a husband, but don't want to lead. I'm confused.
That's a legitimate question.
How can you call yourself a man if you don't want to do that? How can you call yourself a man?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask his new girlfriend. I don't know.
Well, shit, she probably lost too right now.
She probably don't even know she ain't winning. Period.
Was she real manly already?
I don't know the woman. Listen, and nothing against her. I don't know. I don't even know who she is. But so that's the hypocrisy for me, because I'm like, but you had said that you wanted, because you asked me to marry you. I didn't ask you. We was cool. Like,
and that's the type of thing that, it ain't like nothing that you just realize. I mean, really and truly, down inside, you got to already know what you really want.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially some of this magnitude, you should really know if you really want to be running shit or not.
Right. And I don't understand how you take on the husband role, but you don't want to be the person to lead. And I come from a line of strong, independent, overbearing women. I'm not even gonna hold you. Most of the women in my family married, but divorced or married multiple times. My mother raised me as a single mother. Her and my father were married twice. They were married when I was, conceived and early on, and then they got remarried when after I graduated high school. They got divorced when I was like 7. And so my mom, I didn't understand the dynamics of relationships. And I'm sorry, y'all, for whatever reason, the blacks are shooting fireworks outside.
The blacks.
But one of the things by watching my parents fail up, they kind of like failed up, and they're still together today, but not married. But is that I just learned, I can't say that I learned all of the things about being a woman, or like being, well, not a woman, but being a wife, right? Because my mom was big on making sure I understood how to be a woman and be functional and all of that.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always thought that when I get married, my husband and I get to create our own standard of marriage, right? We get to create what it is that we want. Those should be conversations that we're like having prior to marriage and when we get into marriage. So to be with a man that, wanted to do all of these things and wanted to be great to me and thought that I was just the cat's meow, and then to just hit me with the, well, I don't want to be the one making all the decisions. It's like, I very much so play my neck role well. You know what I mean? Like, because if I have to step in and start telling you what you need to do and where you need to be and what you need to put on and what, I don't want to do that, bro. I'm not your mama, bro. I'm not trying to do that. I want to be a partnership.
Can I ask a question?
Hmm?
Did he have a lot of pink in his wardrobe? Like maybe he had a favorite pair of pink socks or something.
I can't with this dude, man.
Oh, okay.
We don't have anything but daughters, so
I have a question, and this is for all of us, ladies. Do y'all think that a man, not only with being raised in a house with a man, should he know how to be a man just from natural instinct? Do you think it should just be? Should he know his role? Should he know what to do?
I think it's a part of natural process, but I also think that it depends on the type of men that he's around.
Okay, and that question for the on the flip side, should a female just actually know what she's supposed to do as far as a female?
Some of it is learned, I think, and some of it is innate. Because speaking from a man, a man should know that he's attracted to a girl. True. Now, what should be learned is how you control it, you know, what's out of bounds and all of that. But you should be attracted to a girl. You should have those feelings. You should, you know, like the Temptations, just my imagination is about a guy who's fantasizing about a girl and she don't even know who I am, you know, but you're supposed to have that kind of stuff going on.
It sounds like that nigga crazy, but go ahead.
That's the song. But some man should tell you, well, this is how you approach this young lady that you're looking at. You know, that's so the innate part is the attraction, but then the learned part is the control, the harnessing, the proper way to do the thing. So I think it goes in hand, both of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the issues is, again, we're meeting quite a bit of men who don't know how to be leaders, and they feel kind of lost and inadequate because they don't have those skills. It's like they don't know how to lead. If you go to them with an issue about the house or making decisions for the whole house, they haven't seen that. They don't know what that looks like. Men need mentors, I think, because that's a big issue. They're not seeing it in the home.
Definitely. But one should still try to figure, well, then you just said it, and they need mentors. They should be trying to figure that out. If I got a woman that I really want to be with, and I know what I know what part of my job is then at that point. So I need to figure out what the rest of it is.
You gotta remember a few things though. When it comes to a man, if there isn't the right surrounding of men around him, he won't know what to do.
He won't know.
Case in point. I look at my pops, man, and Aaron know this because he done seen my old man. My father wasn't the type of person that wanted to go to football games, baseball games, stuff like that. He learned from his father the best way to take care of your family is through provision. That's what he learned from his father, because his father worked, came home. His wife was my grandmother was the ultimate homemaker. Food was ready, everything was done. When granddaddy was ready to go to sleep, made for him. Lunch was made if she wanted to take it. All that was ready when he walked out the door 3:30 to go to Ford engine plant. My father, that's all he saw. He didn't see anything different. So what he taught me was how to provide. Why? Because that's what he knew best.
Right.
When you got a person that knows that's why you try to, mentors are the best thing for a young man, because a mentor can give all the aspects needed on how to be a man. And the same thing for a woman. The women that I grew up under, like Adina, strong, they didn't take no mess, they didn't do anything. But what they valued was marriage. What they valued was how to show their daughters how to be a woman, how to do things like that. My father taught my sister how to change a tire. He said, look, it's not your job because you're supposed to have a man to do this. But let's say you ain't there and he ain't there to do it. You ain't got to wait on nobody. You're going to change his tire.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So it's the way that we were raised. It's the way that it wasn't just your parents. It was a village that raised.
Yeah. Hey, but
everybody stepped in.
Yeah, back then,
That's what I'm saying. Back then, now the village want to get high together and go to the club and turn the club up.
So look, Art sent another video that speaks to that point. Check this out.
Why don't you just take the picture on your camera roll and keep it there?
No, because you feel when you take a picture and you look at it, you feel wow, like this would be good for my Instagram or I would post.
So you put it on your Instagram. Yeah. So what would be the difference? Because remember, the picture's to make you feel good. Yeah. So what would make you feel good on Instagram?
The likes, the comments.
Okay, the attention.
Yeah.
The attention. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Yeah.
Right. Full circle. And what I'm not doing, I'm not trying to advocate for cheating. I don't think it's okay. I just think we have to understand where the guys are coming from.
You can have
we expect monogamy and we judge them for cheating, but yet we're not virgins. Yet we have open Instagram accounts. Yet we come in with a child. It's like, and then we're gonna say, be faithful to me, and they're like, what?
Wow, that's another point that we didn't get to. Now, I know that cheating is just the stupidest thing that anybody could do because you're playing with people's feelings. But and this is how, I mean, I don't know how to quantify it, but it seems like guys tend to cheat more, right? But if you're cheating you don't agree with that?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I'm not going to sit here and agree with that. Really? Finish your point. This is real quick. And after what I've seen and after what I've heard, some of these women, I can say to these ladies, Adina, Nicole, y'all can have some of the filthiest minds I ever heard in my life. Y'all are devious. And the way... No, Aaron. No, let me tell you.
They got negative.
Some of these women out here got a husband, 2 side dudes, and a pimp. And the husband don't even know. Women are cold and calculated, bro.
Absolutely.
Men are, when it comes to cheating, men are impulsive. Women are calculated. They cutthroat. They will have you thinking you're the only man, and they didn't have they sugar daddy for 3 years before they even met you.
Hey, this is the word for it. Evil.
I'm just being straight up, man. Women, I think
it's given nefarious on that level.
Smart about it. They know, women know the ultimate prize they carry.
Well, let's stick this to the topic then. So if women are calculated when they cheat, how come they're so mad when they get cheated on?
That is the ultimate question. I don't know.
A lot of times they're not cheating, and they are giving a lot in them relationships. Okay, listen. When you are doing the emotional labor, if you got somebody that's not emotionally laboring with you, you are doing you're said to do all the work. If you're the one, with the kids all the time, you're not getting no help with that. You don't get no help with nothing in the house. You try to talk to them because you're mentally overloaded or this or that, and you can't get no response from them, this and that, and then you find out that the man is cheating. Sir, you couldn't even talk to me about fixing this garbage disposal, amen? But you was out there with Sister Sally.
Well, see, I think that's why the numbers are skewed. Let me tell you why the numbers are skewed. Okay, because it's a larger percentage of y'all having sex in arrangements with a small percentage of men. Most men are not having sex.
So married or otherwise, or we talking about in general?
We're talking about in general.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Huh?
I don't know about that.
Man,
I was with you until you said most men ain't having sex. I don't know about that.
I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you right now. Most regular ass dudes, just some regular old. I work this little job. I sit at my little desk. I wear my khakis and my little button up shirt. I drive a little Honda. Ain't no woman fucking with him.
I
right?
disagree with that, and I'm gonna tell you
Hold
why.
on, let me finish now.
Go
Give me a
ahead,
second.
'cause
I married one, and he turned out to be a whore
wholeheartedly.
too. So.
Let me build my shit now, right?
Go ahead.
Most women today, we're talking about the way shit is now, right? And the things that they go after, they are not giving the thing to those guys. These guys are usually between the age of 25 and 33. They are not humping, like for real. They are not humping. Most of the women are having sex with like 20% of the men.
I disagree with
How do you quantify that?
Hold on. Let me say this. All right, the guy you just named, the guy that got the Honda, the button up, this and that, he's the one that's getting the Instagram models. You want to know why? He got the money.
He paying for the coochie then.
It don't matter. You said they weren't having sex.
It don't matter at that point.
It don't matter. You said they weren't having sex. Those nerdy cats.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
I'm saying, they not getting picked.
No, son.
And look, and most of them don't make enough money for that. They make $35,000 a year. That's all they make. They can't afford that shit.
Sir. That's where you wrong at. Because the one that's got the button up and doing all that, he ain't just working at no desk. Those cats are the ones that's going in the strip club with suitcases of money saying, let's get it in.
Man,
they
ain't many of them.
That's why they can stand to make
No.
Okay?
What's the majority?
The majority. The thug dude, you know what he doing? He beating a woman to get her. The other guy,
he ain't got to beat it to get. All he got to do is have a bunch of tattoos on his face and shit, and wear his pants down, show his buttocks, and walk around and can't talk straight.
You know what?
And she want to give him some coochie.
That's the ones that get the Instagram models with low self-esteem. A lot of women, they go for the nerdy guy because the nerdy guy gonna keep his money. He know how to take care of his money.
They go for it. Listen, let me tell you right now.
He's in out of jail. They tired of bailing him out.
Dog, listen. They go for the nerdy guy because they know they can do whatever they want to do with him because he ain't going nowhere. He can't get shit else.
But he's
still he ain't going nowhere.
You generalizing that. That's not true, bro.
Dog.
I got a nerdy friend right now. He's a lawyer. I went to school with this boy. He's a lawyer. Minds his business. Goes to work. He live in Houston. Get any woman he want because he's able to make the woman feel secure about what she wants. The guys that go out and do the stuff you saying, the tattoos and all that, they playing a facade. They giving you they
don't matter.
They agent. They
so the facade is getting them vagina. I'm not gonna hold you.
This is the point. They'll marry the guy you talking about, but be fucking the one I'm talking about.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, let me
that
just
still skips your percentages because you saying a small percentage are having that. You just really contradicted what you said.
I didn't because only 1/4 of us are getting married.
Well, wait, we getting off the topic because we talking about hypocritical behavior. We get into a little microcosm. So let's get to some of these comments. Sierra said either side has every right to be angry about cheating on if they were being faithful. I agree with that. She also says the women doing the cheating does not represent every woman and vice versa. I understand that. Now, she wants to know, Art, where are those statistics coming from when a large majority of the women are having sex with the smaller percentage of men? Hold on, let me get through. Keela says, and Keela's been firing away. She said the thug definitely don't have to do all that to get some. Sierra says, we need sources for all those percentages, please.
I'm gonna go upstairs and whoop my ass. Don't worry about it.
He says again, sources, please.
Dang.
I'm gonna say this.
Let me state my source.
The thugs don't have
the
to.
The source is let me state the source. It's called niggerhump.com. Go on niggerhump.com and they have all them nigger hump percentages.
This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion because I got friends that's in that quote thuggish thing, and I got a lot of female friends that I grew up with that was attracted to that person. It is the feeling of being with somebody that you don't think you can be with. That go for both sides. The hypocritical part is a lot of these niggas with tattoos and all that, they soft as hot butter. They put up a facade to get the woman, and when it comes down to it, when that woman really need them, they go on to the next one. When you go to the nerd gonna take his hypocrisy with his pocket. If you don't want to be bothered, I'm gonna go to the next one that do, because I got the money to do it. There's the hypocrisy in both. It doesn't take away from the hypocrisy. What I'm saying is, you're saying the numbers are skewed. The nerdy guy ain't having sex. Wrong. I know a few of them that's probably have more sex than the celebrities.
See,
because
that's the problem. It's just a few.
Some of the women.
This is what I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is, it's a lot more women that's attracted to the nerd than what you think.
Okay,
just because they don't come out and say it because they embarrassed.
Let me tell you what's really.
They embarrassed. I don't want nobody to see me with this little button up. They want to be seen with the 6'4" tatted Allen Iverson dude.
Now you're making my point.
That's the one that's out there.
Now you're making my point.
That I've seen. That's just this is just my opinion.
Now you're making my point. Now though.
But look, let's do this. Let's ask the lady something. First, let me get this comment. Keela says, but that goes along with what Art said. They'll marry the nerd but sleep with the thug. But so Adina and Nicole, why is that? What is the attraction? So I know you guys say that the nerd is stability and the thug is the risk side, the risque, the wild side. That's hypocrisy as well, because
big time
you're trying to get both of them in two people. But if a guy does that and have two women, it's like scratch her eyes out, go find her, beat her down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, tell us why y'all sleep with thugs right now. Tell us.
Adina, have you ever slept with a thug?
I have not, baby, because I don't want my brains blowed out driving down the creek. No.
But I do know that a lot of these guys that you're probably talking about they don't approach women, and they don't have confidence. They don't have any swag. They don't know how to approach women, and they don't. And when they do,
and
they
most
don't know
guys are like that.
So I think I'm sorry?
Most guys are like that. That's my point.
Even
on TV, it make it look like it's a whole bunch of niggas out here that can get women. But no, most guys are just like you say. They quiet, they reserved, they don't know what to say, and they really kind of corny because they just regular guys. So if any woman choose to marry that guy, it's definitely probably about some money. And just like they do, they be slick as hell, and they had this nigga over here and that nigga over there, and this nigga, he just got a new tattoo. I'm gonna go fuck with him real quick. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all act like guys don't want the contradiction in women as well. They want what the freak in the sheets, the lady in the streets, but the freak in the sheets. They want a woman who is gonna be hella sexy and get down and dirty and nasty, but then they could take them out in public and people could look at them as something too. So it's like women also have to play that role where it's a balance.
But you know what, Nicole, to be honest, it's a lot of ladies that's out there like that. They can be just what the man want them to be. They can be that lady that they hold in their hand, dress nice, and they take them home, they transform into a Decepticon. That's what they want. I'm just being straight up. You gotta. A lot of women see I'm gonna be straight up. I'm just being honest. My opinion. A real woman, a submissive woman, a woman that truly loves her dude is that woman. A lady in the street.
We're conditioned to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna know why? Because she's gonna do everything to keep her man happy. And it's a lot of women that walk around like that. They just scared to admit it because the guys that they run across is either the nerd who just want the money, or they attracted to the thug. They think they're attracted to the dude. And like you said, get home, he beat the brakes off of you, and you scared to leave and all that. It's a lot of women that's just what they are because they want to please who they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then some women just don't find value in the nerd. Like they don't. That's usually not. There's some sort of exhilaration, right? That's there and present with being with the thug. If we just,
it's a thrill.
It's a thrill. So you're constantly thrill seeking, but you're not thinking about long term. Sometimes, and women, because of the way we're built or whatever we want to call it, we're looking long
Men do
term
the
with a
same
person
thing,
that ain't
though.
got no long term vision, and
Men
you
do
end
the
up
same
messed
thing,
up.
though. They see these women on Instagram. She built like a bull. Didn't know she went to Brazil to go pay for that, and then get mad, want to kick it to the side because everything gravity done took over. Everything just pop is gone. So they
Gravity
get
didn't
rid of
have it.
them
The
and get
Phillips
somebody 10 years younger. We do the same thing. If you want to be honest, we do the same thing. It's a lot of men out there. They see this. You know good and well that you 50 years old. What in God's name you doing with a 25-year-old?
A lot of
Holding her
stuff.
into a piece of trash.
That's my point. It ain't nothing that you want to keep. That's my point. That's my point.
So
And
what is
the hypocrisy is in so many things, man. You can see a lot of hypocrisy on both sides in so many things that we do. All you gotta do is pay attention.
right?
Ron Isley got a 3-year-old child. That man 80 years old, and that woman is what, 30?
Who?
No. She's like 40 something.
40, but when she was born, he was 40.
Yeah.
He's still robbing the cradle.
For the love of you is my age. She my age.
So they done been married for a while, but yeah, nonetheless.
So we can agree that hypocrisy in a relationship just doesn't work out, right?
Most definitely.
It's like and the question I have is, why do you think people are afraid to have integrity in their relationships? Why is hypocrisy a safe zone for people?
That's a great question.
They full of
Because
shit.
people don't know
That's
themselves. People are scared of themselves. I know I say it every time we get on the live together. I say it. People are terrified of themselves. They can't do the self-work. They don't want to do that. It starts to make them have to dig in and really start to uncover some things. It's going to make them have to get rid of some stuff. It's going to make them have to change. They don't want to have to do that. And so people like to stay in safe spaces and places that make them comfortable, because maybe they've had trauma their whole lives. Maybe they don't know how to handle life outside of their trauma and the drama and all of that kind of stuff. So they stay in safe spaces.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it is right there.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Yep. They scared of the truth. They don't want to be found out to be jackasses. This whole thing they've been putting on, and they put all these naked ass clothes on and big ass flabby ass eyelashes and shit. And
what, don't they look like tarantulas? It's terrible. Huh? Don't they look like tarantulas? It's terrible.
Crazy.
Hey. Y'all remember that movie? I'm gonna get you sucker when Keenan took that woman home and she got the popping everything off.
Right.
It's like when it's like you get to know somebody. The object is to get to know somebody. You want them to be straightforward and honest. Do I really want to be with her? Do I really want to be with him? You know what I'm saying? But when you present yourself in a form that's hypocritical, case in point, I'll never hit a woman. I ain't never be no woman. 6 months down the line, you got to call the police on the dude because he done broke your jaw. So it's like you say stuff to get the person, to get the woman, to get the man. You lying to them, being hypocritical to them, and then you put them in a situation to where I jumped into something thinking this was this person, and it's not. Now they begin to look at relationships differently because of what you did to them.
Or they think that something's wrong with them because of how it happened. And then they start to overthink. Then they like, oh, these was red flags. Then they over psychotherapize.
So then they take it into the next relationship, and the red flags they get quicker because of the previous relationship.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes those things with some people, and this is kind of where I am in my therapy journey. Because I'm thinking about some people don't intend to be the red flag. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people just have backgrounds that just lead them to those types of behaviors, and they honestly want to change, and sometimes they don't. But again, unless you're doing that work, you don't know if it's you or if it's your trauma or if it was your upbringing. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Well,
some people are just selfish. Some people
just are.
A lot of people are selfish.
And they just don't want you to tell them they're wrong.
Yep.
And
they don't want to be found out either.
Yeah.
So people will live in their representative that they met you as.
Yes.
And then they start to break down the longer you're together, and you start to realize,
yeah.
I'm still tripping on my cousin's story he told, man. That's just like, and it could have took Aaron, or it could have took him right instead of left. He could have said, you know what, I'll never deal with another woman again. It could have made him, hateful and spiteful towards women.
You saying he would have been gay?
Man, you take everything. Lord, please, Jesus, I tried. I'm praying right here on the show.
You said
I was going to say a while ago, you need to throw out another prayer.
This dude right here, man.
Hey,
Aaron, you wouldn't have went to the other side, would you?
Ain't nowhere in the
He
world.
was going to the other side. Get your chicken, man. You killing me.
I ate that shit. Don't do that to my friend. Don't put that on him.
I didn't say that. I said it could have been a point where he didn't want to be. You always taking somewhere. Go to the bathroom.
Man. You don't want to be
Don't tell him to go to the bathroom because he'll take the camera with him.
My bad.
He will take the camera with him.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm saying what I'm saying is it could have pushed him somewhere else. Aaron still wants to have a happy life with a wife. He still wants that. It could have pushed him till he would have been like, you know what, I'm straight. I'd rather be by myself. I don't need this. It's too much of a hassle. Because if every time I open my heart, this is what I get. It could have pushed him there. You know what I'm saying? Anything that people show you, they show you their hypocrisy, it can always go negative. And
but let me tell you this, Damon.
It does go negative.
Let me tell you this, Damon. It did push me there. It did push me there because I was like, that was just some trauma. I mean, I ain't never had the police call to me, especially falsely. That was like, what? This happens?
Yeah.
And so, but as years went on, I found out that everybody, and then I give her a little bit of room because she has not dealt with her childhood trauma. But your childhood trauma has caused me some adult trauma. Now I gotta figure this thing through. And in the meantime, I was like, nah, red flags. No, you look crazy. I mean, no. And so I went through that whole thing until it calmed down. And then, I'm not a eunuch. So, so it's like only way that needs going to be satisfied is to find a potential wife and start over.
You telling us you not a eunuch is not good.
Yeah, that's if I'm not a eunuch, it's not for me to act like one.
I mean, you know how to handle that. Go in there and get that good.
Hey, we're gonna leave him alone. See what I'm saying?
Where's his mute button?
Just get your best lotion.
Here you go. That is some terrible. Oh my God. That's horrible.
Hey, you got some chicken on the grill? Go get it.
So, Adina and Nicole. Other than cheating, is there any other examples that brothers can improve on to not be hypocritical in a relationship?
Do some self-work, child. Something.
Do some self-work.
Do some self-work.
What you mean, like push up?
When you are hunting a lady, okay, because some of y'all be hunting, okay. When you was hunting for you a partner, just be clear on what you want and what you don't want, bro. And I think that's for everybody. You have to be clear about what you want, what you're gonna deal with, what you're not gonna deal with. And listen, you got to be clear on those things, because if you do choose to be with this person and you do choose to be with them in a long-term relationship, stuff is gonna come flying off the shelves at y'all, and you're not gonna know whether you can stand for it or not stand for it, because that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah,
that's the nature of relationship. So if you don't have a foundation to place your feet on and to bring somebody into that foundation, and I think again for both people, right? If y'all can't see if y'all foundations match up, so y'all can create something amazing for the future and for your children to stand on,
right?
You might as well just go on to sit down somewhere, honey. And if you outside looking for some sex, then you should just be honest with people about that and stop robbing people of their options.
Yes, because one thing I know is playing with women's heart will always backfire, because if you are playing with a girl and you are intimate with her, the whole relationship is changed to her.
Absolutely.
I mean, to her, you are the only girl. I mean, you're the only dude with her.
But see, not no more. That was when they were virgins.
No, I'm
had before you show up now.
Things change.
Women is out here lying. They're lying because most women, once you have sex with a woman and you have been, laying that groundwork and all that, and then y'all get it, man, she is locked in. And then you out here moving around like you still. No, you better ask something. Y'all better have that conversation for y'all getting that bed or wherever y'all. Whatever's happening, because you finna be stuck.
Look, even if she had 7 niggas before you, she can still get locked like that.
Absolutely.
And then her being with them other niggas ain't gonna mean nothing. That's what you saying.
Well, it just depends on what happened between her and them niggas. But
I'm thinking that
I'm
thinking that those other contacts make it more difficult for the woman to bond to a man properly.
Look, you are the Negro du jour. So the Negro du jour, she's locking on.
But what if you ain't du jour with your shit though?
It don't matter. Because if you laid that groundwork and she was feeling you, honey, she is in there like swimwear, okay?
Yeah, and actually it's designed. It's actually designed that way. You're supposed to actually get together, biblically after marriage, but sex is supposed to even like smash you together even more.
Yeah.
So that your brains only think about each other. But when you're playing around, because just like smoking cigarettes, when you smoke the first cigarette, your body rejected it. But if you keep doing it, your body will find a way to accept it. Same with cheating. When you first had sex, you thought about that one girl all the time. But then if you start cheating, your body's like, oh, okay, well, we don't have to think about the one girl. We could just go find another victim.
That's some soul ties, bro.
Yeah.
This is why at a elder age, we should look at friendship more so than anything right now.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in that situation right now. I'm stressing. We friends. We friends. I'm not going no further than that right now.
You got to be clear about what you
got. Your sanity, bro. It keeps your sanity, man.
I think that's a good way to think when you're getting old, because you just ain't got that much left in your ass. No way. You might have about 5-6 shots left any damn way. So you might as well be real
Wait a minute. Hold up now. On the crack. Speak for yourself. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm just saying.
Don't speak amongst other folks on that one.
But men get 50 years old, this shit go down. I'm saying.
Hey, look, speak for yourself, sir. Speak for yourself. Hey, look,
we ain't gonna go down that road.
Eat your Brussels sprouts. Eat your Brussels sprouts.
In the words of that great Negro spiritual John Witherspoon, bang, 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 bang. And he was 70 years old.
He's like, reverse it.
So look, let me get to these comments. Sierra said, absolutely not. Any women having relations with other women is expectantly exclusivity. What? I didn't get that one. Oh, she said another man. Any woman having relations with another man is expecting exclusivity. Yes, exactly right. I got you now. Then she also said, who wants to be a side chick? Ask any woman.
Oh, hold on.
They live that, baby. They live that life.
They got T-shirts saying "I am the side chick."
Absolutely.
They got T-shirts. No, they proud of. I'm the side chick. You want to know why they like being a side chick? They ain't got to do nothing else.
Because they humble the same men. I'm trying to tell you, all of them having sex with the same niggas, the same fine niggas.
All they got to do is be there, be expected. When the dude call, he gonna throw you a couple $100 and you good.
Listen, you can go to Inkster right now. I'm telling you right now.
The backbone for them. That's what they're looking for.
Listen, you can go to Inkster right now, pick 50 girls in Inkster right now, and I guarantee you all of them having sex with the same 6 niggas. I promise you.
That's why I don't ride around in Inkster.
I don't even know where that's at, and I ain't interested.
You don't want to go.
I'm just telling you, that's what I'm telling you. That is what be going on. I'm telling you, a lot of guys really ain't getting down like that, and a lot of girls are really just shooting for certain men. And maybe they not having a lot of sex, but they won't have any sex unless usually it's with a certain type of guy, because they just banging for this certain type of guy most of the time, right? Yeah. But then I think where kind of like the hypocrisy come in at is like they be thinking like, well, I really deserve this type of motherfucker. But it's like, well, maybe you don't.
Do you deserve it? Why does she think she deserves it?
Sometimes women feel like they deserve shit that they don't deserve.
Oh,
they think because they have good vagina that they deserve things.
For whatever reason.
Adina's right. I said it earlier. That woman think when you throw it up in the air, turn to sunshine. You going?
That's not true.
Hey, put your
There are
motherphone.
more women.
Hey, look.
There are more
Hey, come on
women
home.
than men available.
That's what they expecting.
Yeah.
That's what they expecting. They expecting you to call your woman. Hey, baby, I ain't coming home. You know what? I'll let you later. Child support be in the mail. That's what they expecting.
But that ain't how they go. And I have found, right, as being out here in this cesspool of dating, that the men people that I have found that are decent men are
The men people
are looking for more than just vagina. They want a woman with some substance to her. They don't want to just sticking and moving. Right. Yeah. So I'm 40, so I'm looking, 40 and up, right? And so that's what a lot of these men, they're actually looking and requiring things of these women, and these women cannot fulfill these obligations. It's not working out.
Right.
And now they sad and busted and disgusted because they was relying on their vagina to get them married. And
and it ain't even brand new. It's used up. It's used.
That's why a lot of us sit back and we pull that friendship thing now. And we try to talk. We try to get to know y'all, and we try to get to, see what's going on. Because I move on. I'm out.
He done nailed it though.
I'll tell on a heartbeat. My pullout game is strong. I ain't talking.
Period.
I'm out.
I'll tell you this: if I was in the dating game, I'll tell you right now, would no woman be able to tell me?
You was in the dating game would be in trouble.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, man.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, so look, we coming to the wrapping it up. I just want everybody to kind of give us what their takeaway of the show. And even if you want to tell somebody who is a hypocritical person in their relationship, they're playing two roles, what would you tell them about that and how that's going to end up? But you can tell whatever you want in your part. This is your part of wrapping up your takeaway. So, Miss Nicole, what you got for us?
Yes, I just think people should be self-reflective. Like, again, sometimes people aren't aware of what they're doing. Look at yourself, see your patterns, see what's been going on with your relationships. If you always ended up in the same type of situation, evaluate yourself and see what you need to do better, and take accountability. It's not always the other person. You got to find out what you need to do to improve as well, and check what you're looking for in someone. Sometimes people are unrealistic in the things they're looking for, and just be more realistic as well. So that's what I would say. Excellent
advice. I'm almost writing that down. I'm gonna remember it though. Thank you. Tell them again where My Comfy Couch comes on.
Yes, thank you. So don't forget, on YouTube, look at the @ My Comfy Couch with the pink logo that'll come up. You can find me on IG, Instagram at Comfy Couch Talks.
All right, my black sister girl, Adina, at the head of the march. What's your takeaway, ma'am?
I enjoyed the conversation. Stop being hypocritical, period. Figure out who you are, then you go find you somebody that is non-hypocritical. If they give you hypocritical vibes, go tell them to sit down somewhere with a work. It's a great workbook out there that talks about self-compassion. They can work themselves right on through the book. Okay? Do what works for you. Be great to people. Don't let people run over you, but be great to people, and be great to yourself before you start to extend yourself.
Excellent. The judge that's presiding over the case, Uncle Kelly, what you got for us?
Me, I'm gonna say be careful in what you do. Hypocrisy comes on both sides. That's why I was coming in with this anyway. Because we do it, they do it. It's all around. Just be, I think we should all be careful of who we choose, get to know who we choose, and know when to back up if you have to. That's it for me.
The defense attorney, the brother that's always got our back, Brother Damon, what you got?
Hey, the main thing is when a person want to get to know you, they want to get to know you. They don't want to get to know stuff that could have been you or should have been you. They want to get to know who you are. They want to know if they can make something happen with you. Just be straight up with them. If you got some things going on in your life that you feel needs to be discussed, discuss it, because you giving the person a chance to say, I can deal with her. I can deal with him. At least he or she was honest. Kind of feeling them for being honest. Let them make the decision on whether they want to be with you. Don't make the decision for them by lying to them and being hypocritical. Be 100, man. You find out. You get the best person if you being 100.
Right. Excellent. All right, Uncle on the crack. What you got?
Stay off the crack.
Well, that's number one to not being hypocritical. Don't do crack. Say it with me, everybody. Don't do crack.
Don't do crack.
You know how funny it is to have that name right in your box. Like, you are the one on the crack. If somebody's tuning in,
they can think what they want as long as my record is clean. That's all that matters.
What you got?
Don't give them the incentive to think it.
You know, this hypocrisy thing is rough and tough, and you know, it's always gonna be somebody, I guess, not really having a full view of who they are or some of the sort, and then make certain claims as if they're this and they're that, or say, well, I do this and that, and then turn around and it's totally something different. So, I mean, you know, if people aren't self-aware, if they're not, if they're basically, you know, if they're not trying to not be jackasses, I guess, you know, we're just going to be dealing with a bunch of hypocritical people for a long time. And I think that the jackassedness in this world is increasing. So then there's going to be more and more hypocritical people out here acting like jackasses, treating everybody like shit. That's really what's going to happen. And this is what I'm really feeling like, you know, some of us might be a dying breed, the ones that think like we do and approach situations like we do. And I hope that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? But if I have to, I'll just become a eunuch like Aaron.
I said I'm not.
And go to the other side.
Hey, end his conversation, man. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
All right.
I think he just wanted to say the word eunuch.
Right.
I just thought it was peculiar that we think of that word.
You know what? The Bible talks about eunuch.
So who says eunuch these days anyway? I mean,
really. Anyway, my takeaway is
you always want to seem like you're smarter than everybody else, but you're not, Aaron.
Oh, so you're intimidated from by my intelligence.
That's hypocritical.
Okay, so look, my takeaway is underneath all the games, underneath all the hypocrisy, everybody has a need to be loved. Love is that one thing that everybody receives. So it's hard enough in a dating game to try to find somebody that has integrity, who's not playing games, and will know the real meaning of a relationship is not really to make you happy, and marriage is really not to make you happy. It's about serving the other person. And if you can outserve that other person, then your marriage is going to be happy. You're going to have bumps in the roads or whatever, but as long as you got that level of respect and servitude, then all is going to be well. But that if you can find somebody that to love you and love you the way you need to be loved, man, you got something worth more than money. But until all the clutter and the games and the hypocrisy is cleared away, it's going to be a hard road. And I understand that, being a single guy. I think I got someone who is very high in the integrity department. And it feels so good that when she says something, I can take it to the bank. I ain't got to be wonder. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I you know, the single people, my heart goes out to people like that who are just trying to be loved, but have to wade through the, you know, the deep waters with the sharks. And so,
you know, Aaron, we might have to go to court on that. When you say she got it going on, we might have to take her to court. She may fold under questioning. We never know, but we might need to take her to court to really see. Okay.
You opening up a can of worms you don't want to open.
Before we get out of here, the thoughts and mindsets of one author does not reflect everyone on this. It does not speak to everyone on this panel. He has his own mind. Kelly and I have nothing to do with anything this young man says. And in the immortal words of Bernie Mac, I ain't did nothing to nobody. I ain't did nothing.
That's 10.
Nothing.
So, thank you guys for coming. Adina, Nicole, thank you guys for taking the time out for doing our 90-minute show. and the bros, we will come up with another thing next weekend, and we gonna show out next weekend too. Thank you guys for showing. We want to thank Keela, Sierra, Maddie, and everybody who came on who did not comment, because it was quite a few people. Thank you guys for showing up on the Man Cave. We will be back next time. Till then, 2 fingers.
Which 2?
Hey, see what I'm saying?